Hello and welcome to Orissapost Live's another interview. Right now, we have someone, a pioneer in the food industry, a person who has brought the concept of burger in a localized manner that catered to the local tastes. Yes, you have got it right. I'm talking about the founder of Biggies Burger, Mr. Biraja Rout. Hello, how are you?
Yep, amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And how do you feel to be over here in this event?
So grateful to be here. I believe back in 2011 when I left Orissa, we did not have such platforms, and I'm so happy, so obliged to see this type of platforms celebrating entrepreneurs, which is much needed for us.
Yeah.
I think much more power to this type of things, and many more to come in future.
Now, if you go back to your past, like if we dig into some stalking, we found out that you were an IT student. Now, IT student, you will get some IT job, but you decide to come to the food industry, which is a very, if I'm lacking some other varies, add more varies, competitive.
Yep.
What made that decision? How did you enter there?
So I believe it's always about the ignorance. I give a lot of respect to not knowing things. So for me, I was ignorant about a global product called burger.
Yeah.
I was absolutely ignorant. I was absolutely ignorant about how large McD or a KFC or a Burger King are. So when I moved to Bangalore for my job, eventually I wanted to be a doctor first. Then I got into electrical. Then I got into IT. So what I wanted to was
The trajectory was very
it was nowhere there was any connection.
no.
So I was not really enjoying my IT job because I always wanted to be an electrical engineer. And I think again I believe it's the misfit of things which creates good things. So when I moved there, I saw this wonderful product called burger,
Yeah.
and I try authentic burgers in Bangalore and understand how strong a single category product in the whole globe can be. Would you believe it if I say that the whole state's GDP
Yeah.
is equal to cumulative revenue of Burger King and KFC and McD? These are the
Seriously.
three companies. If you cumulate their whole revenue globally, it is almost equal to a state's GDP. That's the
Just,
power.
just burger we're talking about.
Just burgers I'm talking about, and just US brands. China has a brand called Wallace, which is even larger than KFC in China.
Oh.
So I believe I'm talking about only the Western market, US brands. Three brands is equal to the GDP of the state that we live, the state that has 4.5 crore population, with natural resources, mining. You add everything. The GSDP of Orissa is equal to these three brands net revenue globally. So that's the
Impact.
number that I'm talking about. But yes, in fact, when I started, we had hardly, like, it was like every day was a fight to see the sunrise tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't come from a business background, neither a business study. So it's all again I go back to my earlier statement that high respect to ignorance and the courage that you do have, and being in the game. I think patience plays a most vital role.
You're saying this a lot of times. It's ignorance thing. Pretty much people see ignorance in a very bad light.
No.
And you're a person who is saying ignorance is a blissful thing.
So when you know that how deep is the ocean, then the fact of fear would be there in your mind, right?
Yeah, true.
So for me, I believe I was not enjoying what I was doing. I'll be very honest, as an IT guy.
IT part was the one thing, yeah.
IT part, and somehow, though the whole of my family is from working class,
Yeah.
I had that conviction during my college days. Also, I used to do sponsorship and all these things, get sponsorship to the college. So I believe I had that conviction to do something that I like to do, or I had that conviction that I can create something or curate something. And I believe
Something different, I guess.
I'll not say something different, but something.
Something.
I did not know that much knowledge was not there what to be curated. And again, I say ignorance is bliss, because if my family would have been a business background family, they would have told me, "Arey, this industry doesn't have. What is burger?
Let's do this.
Do this, do that,
Do this, do that, yeah.
So I feel blessed to not have any backup, or not to have any prejudice mindset of or a perceptive thing around business, which made me to put everything at stake, including my time, my career, the minimal saving that I had, my youth. I think I was at 22 back then. It is the most joyful period for anyone and everyone.
Time to make mistakes.
Yeah, time to do a lot of things, lot of
Yeah.
mistakes, lot of other things. So I believe I have put everything into risk in building this one concept, one brand.
So now you just said your age was 22 back then.
Yeah.
Now can we go back again to 21? You had your first burger at the age of 21.
Yeah.
And then the domino effect began, one thing led to the another. Now I want you to take us to that moment when you had your first burger and then you were like, this is what I'm going to do.
So it's not like that I had not had burgers. I think Bhubaneswar also we used to have cafes where burger sandwiches were there.
One was Bob and Harry and those kind of things.
They were, but
Long back.
those were not the real burgers that I tried back.
I can vouch for that, yeah.
I used to think this is the end of the product. So let's say pokhal bhata, badi chura ki mutton kosa.
Yeah,
we have tried the end of the product. It cannot be.
Yeah.
We have something already set.
Because that first thing that comes in mind is like, as a person from Odisha, will obviously we think that we will choose something local, but you went like burger. That's
what
something
I'm saying.
different.
Let's say dahi vada tamko ki chana pada tamko. You have already a preset mindset ki more expectation iya achi. But for me, I think burger was a product where the expectation and the reality gap was too much.
Yeah.
And fortunately, it was a global product. So today, I believe after water, the highest consumed food in the whole globe is burger, not rice. So I'm betting
That's a
on
big
something.
statement.
Yes, I'm betting on something that's a single product meal
Yeah.
that's consumed approximately 2 billion a day. In a single
2 billion?
day, 2 billion burgers are sold across the globe.
Yeah.
That's the volume that I'm talking about.
It's right in front of our eyes and we don't know anything about it. It's just there and we just don't know that 2 billion of that same thing that we're eating some here and there is just there.
In a form of bread and meat or something.
Anything.
I'm saying burger as a construct is sold in these numbers.
That's huge number. Now again, I will go back. I'll go back to your education time. You say you're IT student, a student with will it be right if I say with no commerce outlook? You're an IT student, and there might be some places, there might be some situation where you might have used your IT knowledge or the technological knowledge in your business, in your ventures. So how did the technological boom, the way pretty much everything is technology now. Everything is technology going through. How did these things affect your entrepreneurship, your business, your outlook, your mission?
I believe the statement I'll divide it pre-pandemic, post-pandemic because tech as a definition has changed post-pandemic.
Indeed, yes.
The accessibility towards tech, the perception of tech has completely changed.
True.
So pre-pandemic, I believe my early days of Infosys, though Infosys, I stayed there for 5 years. I had the opportunity to work with global giants as client, and the fact that Infosys doesn't pay great, but I believe the amount of knowledge that I got from Infosys as an institution, as part of CMMI 5-level company, as part of ISO and all these things, I think the amount of process adherence that I got from Infosys was immense and was crucial and was fundamental for me when I was building Biggies Burger, because I was not building a burger brand, I was building a consumer brand. So
Okay.
I believe the thesis from day one has been, I'm not building only a burger brand, I was building something that a consumer would love to come back and have, and in that perspective we have built the brand. So I believe you're doing a replication of the same when you understand a consumer behavior properly is going to be very easy. So let's say if we understand the consumer behavior at 300 pin codes today,
Yeah.
by catering, we have catered more than 1.5 crore burgers to consumers as of today.
That's a milestone.
That's a milestone. I
Yeah.
believe 1% of Indian public has eaten my burger.
True.
Maybe they are concentrated largely in South and East market.
But they have.
But yes, they have. But this gives me the conviction to understand how a city like Gulbarga will behave and how a city like Anugul will behave. I'm talking about the real Bharat. So doing that cannot come. So when you say tech, I believe tech companies, large companies, they let you understand a system, and through tech you accelerate or you achieve it. without system or the basic fundamental of the company, it's very tough. So from Infosys, though I was working on automation engineering, I believe there were a lot of fundamental things which helped me to build the DNA of Biggies Burger at the initial days. Coming to today, I believe today we adopt a great amount of tech tools, analytics, in terms of future projections, in terms of logistic warehousing, in terms of demand supply management. There are a lot of AI tools which we use for training purposes, which we use for majorly to have a better customer experience. We use hardware and software for self-ordering kiosk. We use at the back end of kitchen automated kitchen equipment, which has the absolute rightness of doing a product in a right way by reducing the human dependency on the product. So I believe without tech has been the basic. Either you are building a financial product or a food product or a beauty product, whatsoever you build, tech is a basic adoption that you need to do to survive today.
But you can say that your experience as an IT grad might have been a helpful thing.
Absolutely, it has been.
It has been. It has been. Yeah,
it has given the DNA to understand and prioritize tech and SOPs first.
True. Now, let's address one of the elephants in the room. To be brutally honest, it won't be wrong to say you are not the first one. There are people who have tried, and there are people who have failed, and they have failed in large numbers. But you succeeded. Not only you survived, you thrived. Now, would you give some kind of advice, key points for those who are trying to come up? Might not be like we are not sharing something with the competitors. Are we? No, we are not. We are not. Okay, fine. We are not sharing with competitors. Let's say somebody comes up with some other brand.
I think there is, if there is no competitor, there is no health in the business.
That's good. That's one good thing to say. Yeah, that's good.
So for me, if it is I'll not enter to a business which doesn't have a competition. And I strongly believe that innovation has got its maturity today. It is about way of doing it in an optimal way, or way of doing in an effective way. So I believe distribution plays the most vital role, and understanding the right product at the right time with the demograph is the key. So I would say if McD came to Bhubaneswar, it was positive for us because McD could create new customer. We cannot.
Yes.
McD has the muscle and the volume to create a new set of customer, which we may not have. We are not that capital heavy business that we can build consumer. So I have high respect to a competitive business and competitions, and the coexistence of these competitions has to be there in a business, which is a key to do business. And coming back to your question, I believe most of us we like that fancy word called founder or entrepreneur.
Yeah, that gives that extra.
So we like that, like to be called as a founder or an entrepreneur, but we do not know what it takes to really live it. So I believe for me, when I did it, I did not even know how to spell entrepreneur.
The word is a tricky word, though.
The word is a tricky word, and great responsibility. Power comes with great responsibilities, as you say.
Spider-Man.
So, a lot of people, what they do is they think, okay, it's cool to be called as a founder or an entrepreneur without knowing the depth of thing. So I believe, and a lot of people they lack patience. So everything is like a hockey stick growth. When I say hockey stick growth, like everything has that exponential curve in the
sudden one
whole thing, but you need to have that patience to go to the deepest thing and bounce back to the normal thing. Then you see it. So let's say I thrived for 7 years to reach 1 crore revenue per month, and today I believe I crossed 2 crore, 3 crore, 4 crore, 5 crore, and today we are at 11 crore revenue per month in a mere 3 to 4 years. Maybe this year I'll be crossing 11 to 20 directly, but the first 1 crore, that was the key.
That was the, I guess, my God.
Our consumers are yesterday's McD consumer.
So you're saying they're leaving McD's for
not living. It's like the graduation of a consumer.
Sure.
So let's say if I'm leaving standard 10th, I'm going to 11th. That's not living. I'm getting graduated.
That's true. And there we have it. we had conversation with Biraja Rout, Biggies Burger, the man from Odisha who is now conquering and plans to also conquer ahead. And what my take and our take from this is that first, that this man knows only one thing: competition. Wherever there is competition, there will be Biggies Burger, and that's it. With Mr. Biraja Rout, it was lovely, and your burgers are damn good, man.
Thanks for having me. Looking
Thank you.
forward.
Thank you.
Let's